okay, guys? My daughter's blocked me in. Yeah. God. So yeah, my daughter's literally just left to go on holiday. I'm not even sure how long she's going for. I think it's 5 or 6 days. She's going to Spain on a party holiday. It's her birthday on Saturday. She's 19. Of course, they're always your babies, aren't they? They're always your babies. You know, when they're that age, they don't really talk to you much. You know, hi dad, bye dad, give me some money dad. It's that kind of stuff, innit, you know? Dad's too uncool to talk to, you know the score. Anyway, so we're on Elvis Presley long lost footage. I am gonna try and get back on here, do a couple of videos, yeah? Whee! So just a quick drive to the place where my daughter does her dance lessons. I might have to run in, get her, and run back out, so I might leave you for a minute. So obviously we've just been talking about Miss Sams. Now Miss Sams is a tarot card reader. I always get confused with the name of her channel. It's something like Celestial Tarot Card Reading. I think she's amazing. Now I'm not into tarot card reading, but I'm not against it. Hi Adrian, how are you? I'm not into tarot card reading, but I actually find it quite fascinating. I don't rule it out. Definitely don't rule it out. I'm open-minded to learning about it. So let's see what happens. But she is lovely. She is amazing. I think she's beautiful. I said this earlier. The number one thing I like about Miss Sams. Now I was skeptical to go and listen to her channel. Yeah, she obviously discusses Elvis and Lisa and Navarone and Riley Keough a lot. Yeah, she's not an Elvis channel, but she's definitely an Elvis fan. 100% Miss Sams is an Elvis fan. I'd love to know more about her. I'd love to know where she's from, where she lives, where she travels, where she grew up. I'd love to know her history to understand how she got into tarot card reading. I'd love to meet her. Honestly, Miss Sams, if you ever watch me, I'd love to meet you. I think you're great. Now, when I listen to Miss Sams, I like the way she talks because she opens up my mind. So I have a certain way of defending Elvis. So I do question everything. I do read between the lines. I think outside the box. I will encroach topics that no one really wants to do it, but I do. Now Miss Sams does that, but she takes it to another level. I'm pretty edgy. Obviously, you know that everything I say is for entertainment purposes, not a fact, just opinion sharing, you know. So we're a discussion YouTube channel. Now she does that, yeah. So she pushes the envelope. She will talk about topics that no one else will talk about. Some of her views are out there. They're quite extreme. They're controversial. You know, they're like some people would even, I don't know what the right word is, but they are pretty outlandish. But I'm not ridiculing her or putting her down or belittling her. I'm like, wow, she discusses the death of Paul Benjamin. She discusses the death of Elvis. She discusses the sale of Elvis Presley Enterprises. She basically says that whole thing was a scam. This is Mrs. Sam's opinions, okay? And I'm like, she says some very disturbing things about Priscilla. I would say that it's pretty clear that Miss Sams does not like Priscilla based on her tarot card reading. The reading that she has with the cards, yeah, clearly show Miss Sams that something is very wrong within all of that, within Benjamin, within Priscilla and Navarone and Riley and Lisa Marie. She makes me think differently. This is what I never expected. This when I started watching Miss Sam's. I was interested. Many people were asking me to listen to her. I was a little bit reluctant. I'm not gonna lie. I think Jane was one that was asking me. There was a couple of others that were asking me. I know that quite a few of you enjoy watching Miss Sam's. Guys, I know it's a bit, you can be skeptical, but give her a chance, give her a listen. And at first, Miss Sam's does take a few minutes to get used to. Initially you're a bit taken aback and you're a bit, nah, you know, this is a bit silly. But then when you really start listening to her, her simplicity is genius. I repeat those words. Her simplicity is genius. I think it's a bit like Louis sat in his kitchen, you know? It's a bit like Louis sat in his kitchen. I'm just sat there surrounded by my dogs and books and my wife and in a messy little kitchen. But I think my topics make people think. I think the way I face topics, very steadfast. No matter what anyone says to me, no matter who challenges me, I just stick to what I believe. Yeah? Miss Sam's does that, but take it, because Miss Sam's will go further than I do. I will take things to a certain point and then I stop. She crosses the line and she's down the road. Like, she's like, wow, the things she's saying seem unbelievable. So because of that, she makes me think differently. She opens up my mind. What's that song? Open your mind, you know? Your mind, your body and your soul. So I'm addicted to Miss Sam's. I love watching her. I love listening to her. It doesn't mean I agree with everything she says. Now, obviously, because I've opened up this topic on Defending Elvis, our other channel, because obviously here we're on Elvis Presley long lost footage. But because we've opened up the topic of what happened to Elvis when he passed, yeah, was there any foul play? Yeah, this is a very extreme topic. I know I'm going to get a bit of a backlash, you know. Elizabeth mentioned to me, you know, that this topic is going to get us a lot of attention. Not all of it good. Thank you, Elizabeth, for giving me a warning. But I will never let the bullies that try to mute us, that try to stop us running a Defending Elvis channel, prevent me from choosing my topics. The reason I have chosen the topic of what happened to Elvis when he passed, was there any foul play, is because some pretty serious people have